or their kilos or their stone, is I will watch them at a press conference, and I will watch who I believe is telling the truth. They're both going to say they're going to win. But they both feel the same person's going to win. And you would just never say, when it's against yourself, you would go out there and try. You would have grit. Having confidence and being delusional are two equally important ingredients to success. There are times when everybody told me I couldn't do it. Well, they all know you, and some of them are related to you, and they know your dark side, and they know about your work ethic and your intellect. Like, if they're saying you're going to fail, you probably are. That's probably a pretty good group to listen to. So when I watched these two guys, I want to know who's going to flinch. And the first one to go was Tyson Fury. And it was from a point of strength. So I'm going to take you back 5 minutes after they wrapped up the first one. After they announced Usyk, and I always think Usyk's joking when he talks. I always thought I thought he was working like a character. And that voice is so odd to be coming out of his body. I believe that it jumps like Tyson. They have that voice coming out of that body. I believe Usyk's deep voice is more unhumanly than Mike Tyson's deep voice. When that gets done, it comes to Fury. Now, Fury fought Francis Ngannou, and Fury, like all boxers, wildly lied about how much money he made. But he still made $40+ million. Anyway, I'd like to tell you guys 80 and 90, but he still made real money. For Fury to go into Usyk, he lied to you about how much money he made. But he still made $35 to $50 million. So for Fury, 5 minutes after that loss, to first off, he already knew what he blamed it on, which was sentiment in the judges who are human beings, because the opponent in question is from a country who is at war. He took a lot of flack for that, and I don't think that he should have. That was a very fair. He didn't say he got robbed. He didn't say it was stolen from him. He said it was a close fight. He said it was a good fight. He just said he knew if it went to a decision. With that man's country being at war, favoritism would have gone to him. People thought that was off limits. I did not. I did not. Because I want to know, if you're going to ask for a rematch, what is going to be different. So if you think the only thing that caused you was sentiment, you're doing a pretty good job of admitting the truth. Which is, that dude Usyk can take a hell of a better punch than I thought he could. That dude Usyk can hold up longer, harder than I thought he could. That dude Usyk can deliver to the body and to the head in a more effective fashion than 12 rounds ago they knew he could. And if you're going to go into a rematch, you're going to have any chance to beat a guy. You cannot be hanging it on delusion. You got to really grasp. So Fury right there, busting up, broken up, heartbroken family, heartbroken audience. He's the face of this movement that's going on in Riyadh. I mean, there was so much on that he lost. And in those very painful and exhaustive moments, he referred to a clause within his contract that should he choose to execute, he is the sole person to make the choice, and that was an immediate rematch clause. You won't meet 10 boxers who have read a contract. That is not an exaggeration. You will not meet 10 fighters who have ever fought with an immediate rematch clause in their contract, and you won't meet any fighters that know how to activate said clause. If you really do narrow down and you find out jail there quite literally was somebody, it's one of the reasons that boxing can do whatever it wants. It's one of the reasons. They say that the contracts take advantage of the fighters. That's not as true as you might think. The leadership in boxing just knows the fighters are dum-dums. You ever see a guy and somebody knocks on his door and they're going to try to bring him into a religion? And they'll have the Bible. The guy doesn't know much about religion, but son of a bitch, he knows the Bible. That's a good book. His whole life he's been told that's a good book. And then they'll open the Bible. And with no context of the 1,000 words and stories and paragraphs that came before it, or with any context of the 1,000 words and stories that come after it, they will show you 2 sentences. Do you ever know? Well, it's right here, and this is the Bible. You can't dispute it. You don't know enough about the Bible. You don't know. He opened the good book, which you've been told your whole life is good. And he just showed you 2 lines. Now he's going to quickly close the book. You're never going to reference it again. And he's going to tell you what the rest of your life is going to look like, which always comes with you writing a check and somebody being given the ability to sleep with your young daughter, whether that happens or not. All because they pulled out a Bible. And boxing contracts are very similar, where these guys have them, and they're told that they're binding by people they trust. And then they're told, well, we misunderstood that, or they don't have to do this, or if we try for that, we can't get this. That is where the taking advantage part comes from. So when you have somebody like Fury, who in the heat of battle, in despair, he's busted up, man, he's broken up, not to mention this is 2 in a row. He went the distance with a bum who'd never even done it before, called Francis. A split decision where one licensed judge thought that Fury lost to a bum who had never done it before. This is not good for the legacy and even current career of Tyson Fury. Got 2 strikes. Anything in life, 3 and you're out. And he chooses to execute number 3 in that moment, and he knew he had the legal right because he knew what that contract said. And he will hold up Usyk and the WBA and everybody else if they don't give it to him. I loved it. I loved in this moment. And we'll see many guys. Guys used to do this, George St. Pierre. Some semi-pounder would win a fight. What's next for you? What's next for me is George St. Pierre. And the guy would get in the bag and his adrenaline would calm down. And then he'd grab the matchmakers and go, anybody fight George. It's a common thing. No peaceful person wanted to fight George St. Pierre. You fought George when your phone rang, and you wanted to fight George, and then you enjoyed the money and the few minutes of it. That's just the truth. Fury went out of his way to fight a guy who had just beaten him, who had won the Olympics. At a different weight class, the hardest guy to face is a stud from 1 weight class below you. Fury went out of his way from a legal perspective to be given the right in front of everybody else. So when I talk about all I'm trying to do is judge 2 guys, you will get a lot more accurate analysis from me than you will a boxing guy with an 8th-grade education in his gold teeth that's going to tell you about the jab. He controlled everything. He controlled everything with the jab. The jab, oh God, then you hit him in the body. And you just make sure he's standing on the outside. Don't let him get too close. You guys stay him on the outside. You control the jab. I hit him in the body. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Everybody has 2 hands, and they're trying to hit him in the head, and they're trying to hit him in the body, because it's the only 2 lethal